Distinguished guests, members of the faculty, members of the graduating class, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2016 commencement exercises of Georgetown University, which mark the 227th year since the founding of Georgetown College. Please remain standing or stand if you're not standing for the national anthem, which will be led by the members of the Georgetown University Concert Choir and Chamber Singers under the direction of Professor Frederick Binkholder. The invocation will be offered by the Reverend Kevin O'Brien, Society of Jesus, Vice President for Mission and Ministry.
Let us pray. Our loving Creator, we gather on this hilltop one last time, aware that above all it is you who gathered us here some years ago and you who today unite us amid all of our blessed diversity, and you who send us forth with a holy summons. We give you thanks for this time of celebration today for our family and our friends who made this day possible, and for all those here on the hilltop who cared for our students along the way. This has been a place where we have let the world in, from Baltimore to Syria, Iraq, San Bernardino, Ferguson, and Flint, and so many other places that have marked our time here. In this world which is so beautiful but broken, give our sons and daughters of Georgetown the courage to be prophets who will boldly and eloquently speak the truth in our age. Give them the passion to be relentless advocates for peace and understanding, and vigorous defenders of the dignity of every human being. Give them hope to be dreamers and visionaries who can look beyond what is given and expected to imagine possibilities yet unseen. Lure them, dear Lord, beyond the gates, beyond the narrow bounds of self-interest, and empower them to create works of beauty in a sometimes harsh world, to labor for justice in places that are indifferent to human need, to protect our planet, to reach out in compassion to the forgotten and vulnerable. In the spirit of the Ad Majorem Dei Gloriam, we pray with St. Ignatius of Loyola this day. May all of their talents, may all of their awesome gifts of mind and heart, may their boundless energy and imagination be offered back to you and to our world for your greater glory and the good of others. Amen.
Please be seated. Dr. Randall Bass, Vice Provost for Education and Professor in the Department of English, will deliver the official welcome.
Thank you, Dean Gillis. I was at the senior ball last night doing research. And one of my favorite students made the comment that the silver lining to the rain and having to split the ceremonies was that she would be able to get 2 more hours of sleep, which meant that she would now have a total of 2 hours of sleep. With this extra rest, I am confident that you will be able to outperform letters A through K. So it's my pleasure to welcome all of our guests to this commencement ceremony of the College of Arts and Sciences. And I do so on behalf of our provost, Dr. Robert Groves, whose own son is graduating elsewhere this weekend. And I do so on behalf of the entire academic community of Georgetown faculty, administrators, and staff, and in behalf of these students seated in front of me, who will momentarily become our newest graduates. As Vice Provost for Education, I have been privileged to help lead our efforts to continually strengthen what it is we try to do here. We're trying to imagine a future for Georgetown built upon and equal to its past, not just delivering the best education possible, but a distinctively Georgetown education that'll meet the challenges of a very complicated and swiftly changing world. But standing here on a day like today, looking out at all of you, it's actually quite a poignant reminder that in fact we are shaping and creating the future every day, every year in our interactions with you, a future that is embodied in you. And the people who are so deeply involved in shaping that future are the extraordinary faculty colleagues seated behind me, who take so seriously both the educational and the research missions of the university, not only to inform our students intellectually, but to form them as people of character and ethical judgment, to whom we can safely entrust not only Georgetown's future, but indeed the future of the world. To you, our guests, and especially to the families and support networks of our students, we acknowledge with deep thanks the role that you have played in getting these students to the finish line. For all of you, it was a marathon. For some of you, it was a marathon and a sprint. But no one's success or accomplishments are theirs alone. So thank you. As Jeb Bush would say, please clap. So. We also acknowledge with thanks the magnitude of the responsibility that you all have entrusted to us. We have worked hard to be worthy of that trust so that we can say today with considerable pride that we watch along with you as your sons and daughters move on to the next phase of their lives, their early promise fulfilled, and the promise of a life of purpose ready to unfold. So we are happy to celebrate with you this glorious, sunny, bright day filled with nostalgia for what is about to end and with excitement for what is about to commence. So to our guests, welcome, and to our graduates, welcome home.
Our founder, Most Reverend John Carroll, first Archbishop of Baltimore and first Catholic bishop in the United States, took legal possession of land on our hilltop in 1789, and we mark that as our founding date. Our first student, the future North Carolina Congressman William Gaston, arrived in 1791, and our first bachelor's degrees were not awarded until 1817. It was in 1815 that, with enrollments passing the 100 mark, the college's president, Father John Grassi of the Society of Jesus, asked then Congressman Gaston to present a petition for a federal charter, a document that still today sanctions the academic business we do here. It is our custom to initiate academic ceremonies with a reading of that charter. To discharge that office, I am pleased to introduce Dr. Victoria Pedrick, Associate Professor of Classics.
An act of Congress dated March 1st, 1815, reads as follows. An act concerning the College of Georgetown in the District of Columbia. Be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled, that it shall and may be lawful for such persons as now are, or from time to time may be, the president and directors of the College of Georgetown within the District of Columbia, to admit any of the students belonging to said college, or other persons meriting academical honors to any degree in the faculties, arts, sciences, and liberal professions, to which persons are usually admitted in other colleges or universities in the United States, and to issue in an appropriate form the diplomas or certificates which may be requisite to testify to the admission of such degree. Langdon Cheves, Speaker of the House of Representatives, John Gaillard, President pro tempore of the Senate, approved March 1st, 1815, James Madison.
President John J. DeGioia conferred the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa upon our esteemed guest and commencement speaker at our first ceremony earlier this morning when it was raining. Dr. Martha Weiss, Associate Professor of Biology, will read the citation for the honorary degree.
In his recent world-challenging encyclical, Laudato Si, Pope Francis insists that access to water is a basic and universal human right, essential to human survival, and a condition for the exercise of other human rights. And yet, 1 in 9 people on this planet lacks access to safe drinking water, and worldwide, childhood illness is commonly linked, either directly or indirectly, to poor water and sanitation conditions. We are not yet at that dark moment in the rhyme of the ancient mariner, water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. And if we do not arrive at that dark moment, it will be in large part because of the work of an unwaveringly dedicated generation of environmental activists and advocates, one of whom we honor today, Alexandra Cousteau, whose extraordinary filmmaking has raised public awareness of the global water crisis and helped to galvanize our efforts to seek solutions. Alexandra Cousteau's parents taught her to swim when she was 4 months old. She has been in and about water ever since, as how could she not, coming from the first family of oceanography? For 3 generations, her family has shaped the world's awareness of the grandeur of the oceans, as well as their peril. Starting in the early 1950s, her grandfather, Captain Jacques Cousteau, and then her father, Philippe Cousteau, gradually revealed to us the extraordinary beauty of what Captain Cousteau called le monde du silence, the world of silence beneath the waves. So impactful has their work been that the family still holds the record for the largest number of cover stories published by National Geographic, a publication and enterprise from which their name now seems inseparable. A 1998 graduate of Georgetown College, in 2000, Cousteau co-founded Earth Echo International with her brother Philippe Cousteau Jr. in order to honor their father and advance his vision of a world where every single child can breathe fresh air, drink clean water, and walk on green grass under a blue sky. In 2008, she established the Blue Legacy Organization to further her family's work. In 2009, Blue Legacy sponsored Expedition Blue Planet, a 100-day journey across 5 continents telling 8 critical water stories from India, Botswana, Cambodia, Australia, the Middle East, the Mississippi River, and our own Anacostia River in Southeast DC. That year, Alexandra Cousteau also joined the Discovery Channel, co-hosting Blue August with her brother Philippe, and serving as chief correspondent on water issues for Discovery's Planet Green. These expeditions continue, focusing increasingly on North American watershed stories. In February 2012, Cousteau joined the International Ocean Conservation Group Oceana as a senior advisor to the organization. Cousteau advocates a systems-based approach to global water issues, one that recognizes how crucial it is to preserve natural water systems while taking into account the numerous demands, threats, and developments within a watershed. From resource management to addressing pollution to planning appropriately for the placement of cities, factories, and farms, Cousteau argues, we must focus on careful economic planning and ecosystem-based management to preserve and sustain a healthy Earth for generations to come. In a recent TEDx talk, Cousteau explained that by the twilight of her life in 2050, 75% of the world will experience water shortages. It requires, and this, Cousteau argues, requires us to reimagine our world. It requires us to think differently about what it means to be an environmentalist. It requires us to make decisions with a different view, a different perspective, a different idea of what is possible. Because she has alerted us to the perils which endanger our waters and our world, because she has so passionately urged us to reimagine that world, our place in it, and our responsibility for it, and because her filmmaking both shows us the compelling beauty and power of water and offers us a different view of what is possible, Georgetown University today, with admiration and delight, confers upon Alexandra Cousteau the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
So welcome, graduates, and your families. Welcome, faculty and staff. Thank you all for inviting me to join you today. Perhaps we should take a moment and just appreciate what, for many of you, will mean the end of exams, the end of papers, perhaps not the end of cramming, but certainly the end of it as you've been experiencing it. For many of you parents, the end of tuition. But if we're being honest, probably not the end of late month calls for a little financial help. Nonetheless, these are all things worth celebrating. So let's begin there then, with family, as many of yours, graduates, are here to honor you today. You began at their bosoms and on their backs. They carried you when you were too tired to walk. You are the living embodiment of what they hoped for the future. They made a person, you, and sent you out to learn and absorb and become ready to inherit the future. How we deal with that can be tricky, and that is part of what I hope to speak about today. coming home to the hilltop almost 20 years after my own graduation has given me a chance to reflect on everything that brought me here and all that has transpired since. My hopes and dreams, my successes and failures, my delights and my disappointments. Thinking back, I realize that much of my life and the person that I have become grew out of certain experiences I had as a child. I have crystal clear memories of my grandfather from when I was a little girl. He was the man who taught me to scuba dive, took me to get hot chocolate after school, who raced me to the corner, and who would whistle when we walked down the street together. I knew in the childlike way of sensing but not fully understanding the world of adults that he was special. The clues were in how others spoke of him, the fact that he had films on television and made speeches to heads of state. He was an inventor, conservationist, innovator, author, and explorer. He gave the world, through the medium of television, its first real look beneath the ocean's surface and inspired a generation to appreciate the natural beauty and abundance of life that he discovered there. His influence on me has been profound, both in terms of how I saw myself and how others saw me. I was Jacques Cousteau's granddaughter at dinners and events and in the press. The subtitle would be Ocean Royalty, or sometimes Mermaid. The last one I stopped caring for around the age of 8 or 9. I grew up seeing my life play out in the context of continuing my grandfather's legacy, continuing his work, furthering his ideas, settling his unfinished business. But it was here at Georgetown that I started to find my own voice, that I found my own passions, interests, and causes, that my own path started to appear. I realize now that legacy is something you inherit, yes, but it need not be something you passively receive and accept. It is something that you must shape until it fits you. If you've ever been introduced as someone's brother or sister, as someone's daughter or son, and if you've ever felt the weight of that legacy press on the expectations of the people you were meeting, change the grip of their handshakes or the timbre of their voices, then you know something of what I'm talking about. We all begin our lives in the shadows of those who came before us, their histories, their policies, their mistakes, and their most noble actions alike. It can be a lot to live up to, or live down, to get away from, or to honor, depending upon where you stand in relation to all of that history. As with all legacies, I think the tendency is to allow them to define you, either by accepting them or by actively opposing them. But this, to my mind, is a false binary in a world too full of false binaries. Always remember that you get to choose. You have the option of borrowing only what resonates most deeply with you and constructing a life around that resonance. In doing so, you leave behind questions of legacy and begin to forge something unique to your being in your time and place in the world. You began this process here at Georgetown. You took on a wealth of ideas, sifted them through your individual selves, and saw what remained to hold your interests and ignite your passions. It is my hope that you will never lose touch with that process, because to hold on to it is to cultivate a way of living deliberately, a way of carrying the spirit of the explorer into the varieties of day-to-day existence. To be an explorer in our current era means something quite different from what it meant in my grandfather's time. We have a radically new relationship with information and the technology that provides it. We carry in our pockets access to the vast accumulation of human knowledge. We walk around with screens capable of streaming to us live, first-hand views of the lives of others. And we, in turn, have the ability to broadcast our own voices and experiences all over the world. Given this great wealth of access, discovering something never before seen is a good deal more difficult. But discovering new ways to look at what we already know is an exploratory attitude anyone can practice. You carry in your pocket the ability to call attention to the issues you most care about and to engage with others in the search for answers. With fresh eyes come fresh solutions and the revelations of hidden wonders. You can all be explorers. You can make the choice to always approach the world with a childlike wonder and reverence. So remember back to when you were young, and the subtle machinations of this world were nothing short of a revelation. Remember the first time you watched ants in a steady march to and from a dropped popsicle stick, before insects became a gross annoyance, something to be kept out of your living space and certainly never to be allowed to crawl on you. Think back to a time when it would have never even occurred to you to crush one of them, a time when there was only your fascination with these tiny beings and their strange mission. In my case, it was tadpoles. I marveled over how their voracious appetite for pondweed could fuel a most miraculous transformation. From this little wiggly fish-like creature, now growing legs, now shedding tail, evolving before my very eyes into a more formidable creature with a different role to play. I loved listening to them argue around the pond at night, the chirps, squeaks, croaks, and calls filling the air in concert. They gave me a deep sense of connection to nature. They were wild and inaccessible to a child, to me. Still today, they are pure magic. And these wonders are everywhere, if only we remember to look. Walk to a riverbank and stare for a moment at the swirl of stream water in an eddy. Allow that vortex to pull at your attention, and you might see in it the logarithmic spiral of a snail shell, the orbital decay of a binary star system, or even the sprawling spiral of the arms of a galaxy. To gaze with this kind of wonder brings an indescribable comfort, a sense that all there ever was, is, or will be is actually a part of one grand thing. You, all of you, are part of one grand thing. To remain aware of this, to see through those eyes, is a way to gird yourself against the disillusionment, detachment, and apathy that do so much harm to the human spirit. If you can retain the ability to look at the world with that sense of wonder, you will come to know it in a deeper and more profound way than you might have thought possible. And the more you know of the world, the more you will love it. And the more of it you love, the more you will protect. And this world badly needs our protection right now. My own sense of wonder for this planet and all her various little miracles is matched only by my increasing sense of panic for what we're losing. As a mother to two small humans, I am deeply concerned for the world they will inherit. The places that I have loved, be they oceanic or pastoral, and the creatures that live there are disappearing. I fear that in a time when technological advance has made the citizens of the world more socially connected than ever before, we have become distracted from the connectedness we share with every micro and macro organism on this planet. For human beings and the planet we share, the situation is dire. And this brings me to a difficult point for any commencement address: how to express the extraordinary need for reform without prophesizing gloom and doom on a day where you should be celebrating your accomplishments here at Georgetown. Is it bad? Yes. Is it as bad as a scientist would have you think? Sadly, yes. And a part of your legacy is this uncertain future. Nothing short of a total shift away from our carbon-based economy can address the planetary emergency we all face. Yours is the generation that will impose a radical reconsideration of how we live in this world, how we consume resources, how we restore natural capital, how we protect the future from the excesses of the past. You will be the brave architects of this new world. Now, every generation of graduates must face down the future it's inheriting. Every generation must make choices that are simultaneously philosophical and personal. What to keep, what to throw away, what to honor, and what to reform. I do not envy you that responsibility, but I do very much believe in your ability to meet and exceed it. Is it hopeless? No. No, it is not. The only legacy thrust upon you is the legacy you choose to accept. The history of explorers worldwide is made up of women and men who are told, "No one has done that," and who responded, "Then I will do that." People who were told, "That cannot be done," and whose response was, "Well, let's just see about that." We live in a time of unparalleled social change. Across the country, communities are reimagining their relationship to past policy, history, and to legacy. Georgetown's own community has spent the year re-examining its relationship to the institution's history. Your voices have brought the debate about how to reconcile past injustices with current policy into the limelight and begun an important conversation about how we engage with our past, what we honor, what we reject, and most importantly, how we move forward. We need not accept the narratives we are often handed by history or institutions of power. Politicians would seek to divide environmental issues into conservative and liberal platforms in the hopes of political gain. But we need not be trapped by that type of ideological pigeonholing. How we treat the planet is not an issue for Republicans and Democrats to argue about. It is an issue for all of us to agree upon as Earthlings. It is my hope for you all that you might take some time before you begin your professional lives to examine the familial, historical, political, and ideological legacy that you have inherited. Comb through it and find the ideas and causes and principles that most speak to you. Take the aspects of these causes that stir something in you and weave their advocacy into your daily lives. Live deliberately. Make the choices that support what you most believe, however small, with an awareness that every small thing we do ripples outward into this one grand thing of which we are all a part. So now, Hoyas of 2016, go forth, live with purpose, make your own ripples, and craft your own legacies. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Cousteau. We shall now have the presentation of candidates for degrees in course by members of the faculty.
Vice Provost Bass, I have the honor to present to you the following candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Will the following seniors please stand and remain standing? Those students who have majored in anthropology, in economics, in government, in justice and peace studies, in political economy, in psychology, in sociology, and in women's and gender studies. Please be seated.
Vice Provost Bass, I have the honor to present to you the following candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Will the following seniors please stand and remain standing? Those who have majored in American musical culture, remain standing, yes. In American studies, in art history, in English, in history, in interdisciplinary studies, in medieval studies, in philosophy, in theater and performance studies, and in theology. Please be seated.
Vice Provost Bass, I have the honor to present to you the following candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts. Will the following seniors please stand and remain standing? Those students who have majored in biology. In biology of global health. In biochemistry. In biological physics. In chemistry. In computer science. In environmental biology. In mathematics. In neurobiology. And in physics. Please be seated.
Vice Provost Bass, I have the honor to present to you the following candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Will the following seniors please stand and remain standing? Those who have majored in Arabic, in Chinese, in classics, in comparative literature, in French, in German, in Italian, in Japanese, in linguistics, in Portuguese, in Russian, in Spanish, and in Spanish and Portuguese studies. Please be seated.
Will all the seniors please stand? Ladies and gentlemen of the class of 2016, please put on your hoods. Come on, it's easier than the tuxedo and the gowns. You may be seated. We now invite each candidate to cross the stage to be congratulated by Vice Provost Bass and me. I ask the audience to hold its applause until all the students have been recognized.
The Georgetown College Marshal, Alexandra Jude Remick. The Bachelor of Arts Marshal, Julia Ann McCrimlisk. The Bachelor of Science Marshal, Ariel David Pormarati. The Georgetown College degree candidates, Rachel Diapais. James Carter Constant. Matthew Morgan Burke. Taylor Catherine Craig. Kenneth Paul Lehart. Taylor Matthew Lambert. Christina Monique Lamoureux. Emma June Hubbard Lance. Maria Gabrielle Landy. Ileana Lucia Lang Lundgren. Nicholas Manick Lanning. Joseph Eaton La Posada. Catherine Donahue Lapras. Peter Michael Laughlin Jr. Reagan Ellen Lawn. Chloe Ann Lazarus. Nia Sarai Lazarus. Daniel Stephen Leach. Amy Soo-young Lee. Junwee Christopher Lee. Lindsay Choyedin Lee. Minyoung Lee. Patricia Chian Lee. Daniel Y. Lay. Nicole Ellen Lepetri. Philippos Letsas. Noah Levy. Caleb Johnson Lewis. Melissa Rose Lewis. Kenna Elizabeth Mulroney Liebus. Vanessa June Liu. Hyunji Lim. Danielle Lampatri. Yuli Lin. John Thomas Lindsay Jr. James Ernest Littlefair. Brittany Lee Litzinger. Xian Liu. Kevin Jawen Lowe. Gwendolyn Reed Lockman. Kimberly Noel Lonnie. Gregory Andrew Lucas. Helena Liu. Peter Mudong Liu. Hoili Liu. Natalie Dana Lung. Nicholas Vincent Luongo. Alex Dragomir Luda. Joseph Edward Luther. Lenora Marie Lynham. Michael Vincent Loiza, Jr. Anna Marie Catherine Mogg. Erica Rose Mabry. Kimberly Josephine McFarlane. Elon Benjamin Mack. Colin Thomas Mack. Sarah Ang Madoff. Natalie Jane Majancalda. Carolyn Lorraine McGuire. Sarah Margaret Makia. Elizabeth Louise Malami. Zeneb Mumtaz Malik. Claire Elizabeth Evoy Malahan. Victoria Ann Macuso. Catherine Michelle Mangialardi. Amy Elizabeth Martis. Sarah Irene Margulies. Matthew Thomas Martin. Megan Therese Martin. Melissa Lou Martin. Marissa Wickman Mason. Anna Mastrukova. Amy Mastrubara. Livia Valentina Mattiucci. Grace Minetta May. Katerina Ashley Malak. Devin Nicole Donahue McCann. Connor Owen McCarthy. Christopher Michael McCooey. Kathleen Marie McCormick. Laura Catherine McCrary. Daniel Robert McCusker. Brian Edward McDonald Jr. Jane Winfield McDonough. Megan Teresa McGlinchey. Maggie Pete McGoldrick. Shelby Elena McGowan. Catherine Marie McIntyre. Megan Grace McLean. Aiden Thomas McLeod. Michael Andrew McNamara. Abby Elizabeth McNaughton. Shannon Aileen McNulty. Alexandra Lilia Medellin. Lydia Bland Mina. Samian Mearson. Marissa Amaka Menakaya. Mariah Mendoza. Seth William Menji. Emma Lois Mercer. Kristen Marie Meyering. Henry Elijah Meyerson. Mary Kate Mazzetti. Jessica Jean Michael. Philip Graham Miller. Tyler Carlson Miller. Michael Joseph Minahan. Natalie Stroman Miller. Calvin DeBees Million. Rabia Mirza. Catherine Bellamy Mitchell. Ria Modi. Micaiah May Moeller. Kylie Foster Moore. Tatiana Montero de Beros. Rosalia Montero. Caitlin Ann Moore. Timothy Preston Moore II. Marie Kilroy Moorhead. Matthew Thomas Musavian. Eduardo Enrique Morales. Molly Todd Morrison. Ryan John Mowbray. Elizabeth Ann Malarney. Michael Mangello. Joseph Paul Murdy. Edward E. Murphy. Megan Marie Murphy. John Brendan Murray. Patrick Livingston Musgrave. Caroline Marie Musselwhite. Allison Marie Muth. Samantha Maxine Nadeau. Andrew John Nader. Cheyenne Alika Nicole Napier. Alice Artemis Neve. Rebecca Martha Tadaka Neff. Eleonora Maria Neal. Carrie Jean Nelson. Aiden Levine Neustadel. Rebecca Niederberger Martinez. Mirabel Uchechi Inkeke. Vanessa Casey Noble. Kayla Ann Noguchi. Siobhan Grace Nolan. Monica Stephanie Nolasco. Nicholas William Norberg. Philippe Gregorio Nunnenkamp. Kenneth Pillmore O'Brien. Connor Michael O'Dwyer. Kenzie Cameron Offley. Andrew Christopher Ogle.
Richard S. Oliveira Sowens. Danielle Elizabeth Olney. Tinatin Omeyadze. Keaton Tams O'Neill. Alexis Oni Esele. Vera Diana Ordonez. Alexander Barrows Orndal. Natalia Nicole Ortiz Perez. Molly Patricia O'Shea. Kevin Matthew O'Sullivan. Abraham John Harding O'Lean. Laura Elizabeth Oceani. Nikhil Oza. Madison Alexandra Paco. Stephen Marquis Paduano. Luisa Estrada Paganini. Kaylee Ann Palangian. Jessica Eileen Palencia. Henry Coyne Palermo. Alexandra Vera Palumbo. Mark S. Palumbo. Kiernan Mary Panish. William Havemeyer Webb Polela. Kristen Elise Parnagoni. Elena Simone Paris. Mason Alexander Pasavant. Nishal N. Patel. Rachel Elise Paul. George Duncan Peacock. Dale Bennett Pedrick. Alexis Perez. Catherine Jacqueline Perry. Taylor Elizabeth Pers. Charles Francis Pettipaw. Sarah Jane Petuck. Kevin Patrick Phelan. Tyler Austin Phelan. Anise Marie Pickens. Elizabeth Noel Pined. Robert F. Pinter. Joseph Anthony Policino. Curtis Glendon Pomeroy. Autumn Sunshine Porras Peye. Kimberly Portes. Eric Cartmel Proper. Roberto Andres Roa Puno Jr. Joseph Stephan Putamana. Sarah Catherine Rabin. Omuwumi Salahi Rafiu. Zarina Siupin Ramos. Taylor Marie Rasmussen. Jerry Dion Racias. Nicole Elizabeth Rattel. Julia Corrigan Rayhill. Simon Redco. Rachel Aaron Reed. Chantel Jacqueline Reel. Catherine Mercy Riley. Rose Mary Reinecker. Camille Gray Ricefield. Andrea Ray Lehman. Alexandra Elizabeth Rich. Desmond Dion Richardson. Elena Michelle Richmond. Rebecca Renee Reinhardt. Sydney Ringer. Madeline Margaret Ringwald. Maxwell Lawrence Roberts. Antoine Maurice Robinson Jr. Molly Jean Robustelli. Natalie Claire Rodriguez. Celeste Raquel Rodriguez. Janine Marie Rogers. Mary Elizabeth Rogers. Connor James Rowan. William Callahan Rohde. Natalie Ann Rohr. Jaylene Rojas. Madeline Claire Rawlings. Christopher Linfeld Rome. Eric Aldo Dargan Romanian. Timothy Joseph Rosenberger Jr. Raquel J. Rosenblum. Anna Nenad Rosich. Connor James Ross. Lena Talia Rothfarb. Elizabeth Thomas Rotrosen. Claire Elizabeth Ruane. Francine Rubio. John Channing Ruff. Isabel Grace Ruiz de Luziraga. Alyssa Marie Ruskowski. Emily Sarah Ryan. Evan Michael Ryan. Georgina Frances Latrobe Bateman Ryder. Lauren Elizabeth Czar. Sophia Marie Robichaud Sugil. Rocio Sanchez. Francisco Javier Sanchez Cruz. Caitlin Ann Sanders. Sarah Victoria Santana. Rama J. Suraj. Matthew Satchel. Allison Marie Saunders. Francesca Hall Saunders. Mackenzie Marlene Saunders. Kelly Aislinn Savage. Taylor Elizabeth Savage. Madeline Louise Scannell. Luke Walter Schaefer. Emma Dallenbach Schaff. Theodore R. Schaefer. Patrick Carl Schlitt. Christian Matthew Schmidt. Thomas John Schnorr. Miles E. Shadler. Susanna Elizabeth Schools. Cassandra Lynn Schwartz. Samuel Noah Schwartz. Etienne Marcus Scott. Victoria Ann Scully. Cole Charles Seiler. Catherine Joan Sermones. Julian Patrick Senna. Samson Raphael Nicholas Seraphim. Joseph Servideo. Akash Manesh Shah. Parth J. Shah. Andrew William Shaughnessy. James Sheldon. Joshua Neil Scheinbrot. Taylor Mare Lokeluni Shodal. Ryan Stephen Shemansky. Bassam Faisal Siddiqui. Frank Marion Sikorsky. Vanya Noeli Silva.
Jessica Lee Mobbitt Silvis. Sienna Gabrielle Marcos Simmons. William Luckett Simon. Lauren Louise Sinclair. Benito Gardner Skinner. Stephen James Scahn. Lucas Benjamin Slevin. Nicholas Hartman Sloan. Christine Suzanne Slobogen. Danielle Virginia Smart. Michael A. Smigelski. Anna Catherine Smith. Kendall Barnes Smith. Sam Jackson Matthew Smith. Sarah Emily Smith. Taylor Alexandra Smith. Devontae Lee Smith Rivera. Caitlin Celeste Jacqueline Snell. Morgan Mackenzie Snow. Nevin Harris Snow. Alana Claire Snyder. Michael Stephen Sobobaro Garcia. Olufeme Julia Shaboale. Youngin Son. Rachel Christine Sorrells. Maribel Soto. Iman Subian. Antonia Isabella Stabile. Morgan Marie Stafford. Nicole Alexander Steinberg. Erica Hollahan Steiner. Sean Lawrence Stempler. Grace Watson Stetson. Taylor Marie Stevens. Patrick Christopher Stocklin. Sarah Namiko Stoltz. Catherine Stolzer. Laura Elizabeth Strasky. Dana Aaron Sukoff. Matthew Arthur Sullivan. Tiffany Yuting Sun. Allison Nancy Sweeney. Christopher Bush Swisher. Zahid Sayed. Carrie Ann Sinan. Scott Robert Soroka. Stephanie Claire Zacketts. Megan Marie Zergot. Jean Ann Noor Tabah. Christina Marie Taden. Shuang Emily Tan. Sian Tang. Jessica Tannenbaum. Oliver Daniel Taubman. Olivia Michelle Tedesco. Elizabeth Rose Tights. Faiza Eisenor Teke. Mary Elizabeth Terazak. Matthew Thomas Vies. Gerard Edward Fears. Ryan Francis Thomas. Sarah Ann Thomas. Madeline May Thornburn. Ian Michael Tice. Christopher William Teedy. Juan Luis Tirado. Catherine Grace Tochi. Caitlin Maureen Tompkins. Yulin Huang Tran. Minhua Dui Tran. John Durkin Trito. John Richard Trimberger III. Suzanne Danielle Trivet. Elizabeth Campbell Truesdale. Lauren Elizabeth Trower. Mackenzie Karen Trumbull. Jay Attila Tsai. Joshua Payin Tsong. Nadia Teresa Turner. Teresa. Grayson Kennedy Ullman. Robert James Van Dyke. Alexander George Vikas. Thomas Spencer Verreyer. Francesca Nicole Vulo. Christopher Frederick Uchenna Wadibia. Matthew William Walters. Taylor Wan. Annie Wong. Irina Wong. Eufelma Choden Wangchuk. Lauren Elizabeth Ward. Madeline Marie Ward. Nicholas Alexander Waring. Victoria Abigail Warner. David Andrew McGrath Warren. Devontae Dwayne Washington. Ross Mack Wasserman. Emily Ballou Weinberg. Amanda Molly Weiss. Xavier Michael Weisenreeder. Caroline Benning Welch. Emily Austin Welch. Sarah Paige Welch. Sydney Leon Wells III. Nora Colleen Welsh. Chin Wen Wang. Maxwell Rand Wheeler. Michael Christopher Whelan. Connor Emerson White. Anna Elizabeth Wilborn. Samuel Pierce Wilkins. Harrison Alexander Williams. Malik Williams. Ryan Joshua Williams. Andrew James Wilson. Catherine Elizabeth Windles. Christopher Philip Wing. Sydney Elizabeth Winkler. David Witkoff. Kevin Edward Wolf. Austin Nathaniel Wolf. Laura Moritz Wools. Nicholas James Workman. Paul Francis Wren. Charlotte Audrey Wright. Daniel Patrick Wright. Marquise Nicodius Wright. Thomas Murphy Wright. Teresa Marjorie Wierzinski. Alicia May-Lin Won. Lauren Elizabeth Wizomersky. Sid Chow. Andrew Yu-Chen Yan. Caroline Naomi Yarber. Carl Edward Milliken Yetter. Grace Ayodele Yeyeadu. Amber Renee Young. Megan Brenner Young. Caleb Nathaniel Younger. Do Kyung Yoon. Allison Christine Zach. Henris Zaimai. Zita Zamorosi de Zamoros. Ellen Caitlin Zamsky. Christopher Anthony Zavara. Basil Zane. Alicia Jasmine Zespi. Katrina Alyssa Zelezniak. Stephen Zheng. Charles Zien Zhou. Vicky Hui Ven Ju. Riley Eve Zinar. And are you ready? Juliana Marie Zobak.
Graduates, please rise. Vice Provost Bass, these students have been duly examined and recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Directors. I therefore ask on behalf of the faculty that you bestow on them the degrees in course.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Congress of the United States and by the Board of Directors of Georgetown University, and as the Vice Provost of Georgetown University, I officially confer upon the aforementioned candidates the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science.
The stage book says, may I suggest a round of applause for the class? I think we've gotten that. We got it down. Now, graduates, I would like you to turn and to thank your family members, your parents, your guardians, the people who supported you for the 4 years who are here today. Please give them a round. You may be seated. Please welcome again Vice Provost Randall Bass, who will offer reflections on behalf of President DeGioia.
As you may have no doubt noticed at this point in the ceremony, even before Dean Gillis introduced me, I am not President DeGioia. Due to the weather, President DeGioia deeply regrets that concurrent ceremonies prevent him from being with us this morning. I regret that it prevents him from being with us this morning. And I'm sorry that you do not get President DeGioia. But in his stead, he has asked me to share with you his very best wishes, along with the following reflections. So for the next few minutes, I will do my best to channel my inner Jack, with a couple of comments of my own thrown in. So first, thank you, Dean Gillis, for your outstanding leadership of Georgetown College. To our commencement speaker this morning, Alexandra Cousteau, thank you for making today even more special by sharing your insights and your perspectives with us. And as I said to her, it was such a rich and wonderful talk, I was glad to hear it twice. Thank you. And thank you all for being here for this very special occasion in the lives of our students. First, a word of gratitude to your families for the trust that they have placed in us for your education. And for me personally, I say these words not just as a professor and a vice provost and a provost and a president, but as a parent whose son is graduating next Saturday from another college. I know what it means to entrust your child to an institution. Sadly, I also know what it means to send your child to another institution when he could have gone here for free. Free. Trying to let that go. And thank you again to our extraordinary faculty here today for their deep care and commitment to teaching and mentorship, to scholarship, and to the vibrancy of this university community. And to our drag it out, baby. And to our staff, especially the college dean's office staff, thank you for your many contributions every day that have made this day possible, especially a day like today possible. And finally, to our graduates, to the people here before me, congratulations. All of you already did better than the first one, so just all of your hard work, the challenges you have encountered, your triumphs, your service, your achievements, and yes, even your mistakes, your missteps and uncertainties, everything that you've done at Georgetown has brought you to this moment, to this day. Some number of years ago, you joined our community. You came to us from around the world. You came to us with singular talents, individual perspectives, and unique backgrounds. You came to us seeking to learn and to expand your horizons. And you came here to Georgetown, a place where diverse people, ideas, and values converge. And you may not have come here to make us better, but your being here has accomplished that. Today we mark the journey, the experiences you have shared, the knowledge you have gained, the contributions you have made, which have brought you to this moment. In your time as students, we have sought to provide a context for your formation. By formation, we mean the work of supporting each of you as you seek to become your most authentic self, providing you with the conditions that will enable you to flourish, to realize your full promise. To be clear, formation is not something that happens to you. Formation is your work. And it is our hope that during your time here, as you've engaged in the work of formation, you've come to better know yourself and what matters most to you, how you best connect to others and to our world. To know your most authentic, your deepest and truest aspects of your identity, the person that you are, the person that you are meant to be. Formation is a journey of discovery, a journey of understanding, a journey of seeking out that which each of us can uniquely contribute to the world. This idea of journey, of pilgrimage, has deep resonance with our tradition. Saint Ignatius described himself as a pilgrim. Pope Francis, in announcing what he calls the extraordinary Jubilee of Mercy taking place this year, a year in which he asks each of us and all of us to identify works of mercy that can animate our lives, reminds us that pilgrimage is a way of life, a way of being. He writes, the practice of pilgrimage has a special place in the Holy Year because it represents the journey each of us makes in this life. Life itself is a pilgrimage, and the human being is a pilgrim traveling along the road, making his way to the desired destination. During your time on campus, you've come to know, to use Pope Francis's words, the practice of pilgrimage, the conscious and purposeful commitment to a journey. But journeying your way to a destination doesn't mean that you necessarily know where you're going. And here, in closing, I can't help but insert something one of my own former students said to me recently. He's a college graduate from 214, has a very good job in San Francisco. He's doing exactly what he wants to do. And he said to me a couple of months ago when he was visiting, "Nothing prepared me for how empty of meaning life would feel after I left Georgetown." So hey, good luck with that. Godspeed. No. I think what he meant was that he hadn't realized what an extraordinary thing it is, what an extraordinary privilege it is to live in this kind of community, an intellectual, ethical, and spiritual community. And I don't think he anticipated how much the work of formation, the journey of formation would continue. Or perhaps he didn't realize how much the destination was no longer around him, but within him. So we celebrate today a significant moment of your lives, a destination you have been working towards, and the beginning of many wonderful things to come. You joined our community with an eagerness to engage ideas and cultivate your intellect, to forge your conscience and deepen your character. Now, with this commencement, you embark on a very special time in your lives. This is your time. We are privileged to share this moment with you. Congratulations on your commencement, and you have my and President DeGioia's very best wishes.
Thank you, Assistant Professor Bass, Associate Professor Bass, Professor Bass, Vice Provost Bass, Provost Bass, President Bass, Chancellor Bass. Oh well, God. May I still call you Randy? Hey, it's graduation, it's fun. Please stand for the alma mater, which you all know by heart, but in case you don't, it's in the back of the bulletin for the guests who've never been on the campus. Please remain standing for the benediction, which will be offered by Rabbi Rachel Gartner, Director of Jewish Life.
Director of Jewish Life sounds very big. The Talmud teaches us that when God offered people Torah, wisdom, or the gift of this earth as well, God asks, who will see to her future? Who will see to the well-being of all the gifts that I give you? And the people answered, in Hebrew, our banim, our children. Our children will secure the future well-being of all of these gifts that is our universe. But the sages said, yes, this is true, but only if our children, our banim, understand themselves as well as our, in Hebrew, bonim, our builders. Our inheritors and our builders, those who inherit our legacy and who are the architects of our future. As Dr. Cousteau so beautifully reminded us, each one of you is that today, and in your honor. And with great hope we pray. Dear Creator, we read in your Torah, when Moses saw a bush burning, but it was not consumed, he said, Hasurana ve'er et hamar hagadol hazeh. I will turn aside now and look at this great sight. As we conclude this ceremony, we take one more moment to pause and turn aside and really look at this great sight, to see the fire and the beauty so alive in it. When I wrote this, we had the simple radiance of the sunshine to be thankful for, but now we have the radiance that comes from the glow of the faces of our students, the warmth that flows between teachers and students, mentors and mentees, parents and children, friends and your dear friends, the resplendence of the work of our hearts and our minds coming to fruition. As we look well at this moment, and I invite you to do that, look around. We feel its abundant blessings, and we can do nothing but be profoundly grateful for it and for the people with whom we share it. As we conclude the 2016 college commencement proceedings, may we all experience a simple gratitude and an audacious joy, a true humility and an unbridled delight. Dear God, may the abundance our graduates feel today satiate them fully in this moment, for this is the day that you have made for them. May they rejoice in it. And at the same time, we know that a good education, like a good prayer, should both uplift and unsettle us. Indeed, as our graduates set forth on the many paths that lead out from our gates, may they be blessed with a restlessness and a yearning to share the fruits of their new knowledge with others. Bless our students with an ever-renewing desire and an ever-growing capacity to use their talents and their skills for the common good. Our graduates, as they leave this glorious place where every bush seems aflame with possibility, may they carry with them the seeds and sparks of possibility, of hope, of equality, of justice, of prosperity, and of peace. May they carry far and wide the torch of liberty handed down to them through the generations, doing work that enlivens the tired, gives voice to the poor, empowers the homeless, relieves the tempest-tossed, shines a bright lamplight upon the hidden injustices of this world, so that one day every single human being might experience for themselves the abundance that we celebrate for ourselves today. When our beloved children and builders go on their way, may they ever remember that the bush was not consumed, the flame need not expired, for they remain a part of Georgetown, and Georgetown remains a part of them, as together they go forth and set the world on fire. In my tradition, we say, Shalom Aleichem. In the tradition of my dear Muslim sisters and brothers, we say, Salam Alaikum, Elf Mabruk, 1,000 blessings. May you go in peace and bring peace wherever you go. Venomar, and let us say, Amen.
Diplomas will be distributed in the White Grosvenor building following the recessional for the next hour. Graduates, after you recess outside after the procession, you should proceed directly to White Grosvenor to retrieve your diplomas. Graduates and families should plan to meet one another in the White Grosvenor building. We invite all faculty to join in the diploma distribution, and they should also proceed immediately to White Grosvenor. We ask that our guests remain standing at their places until those on the stage and the graduates have recessed. I thank everyone for your good spirits, particularly Chancellor Bass and others, your patience, your care in making this, your commitment today, and making this a success under less than ideal conditions. The 2016 commencement exercises of the College of Georgetown University are now officially closed.